Hi, I'm Josh.
And I'm Tim. And with us is
Calvin.
Hey, Calvin.
So,
Hi.
Alright,
Hi.
this is
Hi.
Calvin. So, as you all remember, probably, we're still working on a name. And so, we've got a Pokemon Black 2 and a Pokemon White 2 commemorative coin. If you give us the name suggestion that we end up using, we will send these to you or hand them to you. Depends on how far away you live. So,
as you can see, our audience is entirely male.
Mostly male.
I had a girl talk to me today about the podcast, actually.
You're giving away Pokemon tokens.
Yeah.
This is for all audiences. Everyone likes Pokemon.
Everybody loves Pokemon.
So, today's podcast...
He's feeling a little bit under the weather.
Yeah. Today's podcast is mainly going to be about comic books. We're going to talk about both DC, Marvel,
Yeah.
any third-party comics that you guys know
we
about.
want to talk about. Yeah.
So I think, what do you guys want to start? Want to talk about the new Spider-Man thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
let's
for
talk
it.
about
So in the new Amazing Spider-Man,
What number was it?
what number was it?
700.
I think Calvin
700.
should talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this month saw the release of The Amazing Spider-Man number 700, in which Peter Parker is dead. And I say dead because Peter Parker, his, conscience is dead, but Otto Octavius, Doc Ock, for those of you who are normal and don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Doc Ock, the guy with the mechanical arms from Spider-Man 2.
The good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Has his conscience is now in Peter Parker's body with all of Peter Parker's memory, and he is Spider-Man.
So,
And next month they're going to start the Superior Spider-Man. New title.
Ooh.
Oh, this is just such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Alright, so we should start out with that. So how do you feel about Marvel Comics in general? How do you guys feel about it?
I think they suck.
You think
I like Marvel Comics.
Look at this T-shirt. I totally hate
Yes,
them.
we see your Punisher T-shirt.
So do you guys prefer one to the other? I know Calvin is a huge Batman fan. Josh?
I really like the Avengers. I feel like the Avengers as a group is a little more cohesive than the Justice League is.
I will say this. Over all of their titles, Marvel has more consistent good reads. DC has better star characters that are more interesting, but the rest of the titles kind of suck. Gonna be honest. The Savage Hawkman? Really? Wow.
I mean, the Hawkman's kind of cool, okay?
He has a cool name,
but I mean,
he looks cool, too. That's all that matters, right? Is he looks cool and he sounds cool?
I mean, you kind of need to be, be cool to be a superhero, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be something about you that appeals to the audience. Like, the Flash, he's
fun.
He's fun. Everyone likes the Flash. I just read I saw a video about the Justice League movie and about who's gonna be in it and who's gonna.
Who's the Flash?
Well, character-wise, not
okay.
who's playing each character. But there's gonna be Superman, Batman, the Flash, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. Aquaman's gonna be in it.
You know what? He's in all of them, though. Quite frankly, he's in all the Justice League.
Okay, but let's be honest. Aquaman is not he's not prime material for Justice League.
But he's a classic.
He's very
He's been in all the Justice League TV shows.
He's
movies,
recognizable, but there's no. I don't think there's.
Nobody's saying he's good, but he's a classic.
He's the Diet Coke of superheroes.
Yes.
Everybody knows him and nobody likes him.
Okay, I'll agree with that. And also there's going to be appearances by Lois Lane and Alfred.
Shocker.
However, the Superman will be in the Justice League movie will be the Superman from
Henry Cavill,
it will be Henry
who is the
Cavill.
Superman and Man of Steel,
Yeah, which is
for you
coming out
normal
soon.
people.
Yeah,
Ah,
the new
gonna
reboot
be great.
Superman that's gonna be in. He's gonna be in the Justice League. So
nice. So he's already got his group.
Okay. So, I'll just point out what I think they're doing wrong
okay.
already.
Already.
Already they're messing things up. Okay, so the first thing is we really have no character to relate to in this movie. You know, every single character in this movie is larger than life. And if we want the audience to give a shit about what happens, sorry about that.
That's fine.
Okay. We need a more relatable character. I would say, you know, switch out Aquaman. Because let's be honest, all the battles are going to be on land anyways.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's just going to be in the water shouting at everyone.
Well, I mean,
If you were in here, man,
Boy.
you'd be in so much trouble.
I mean,
Don't even think about coming in this
the
water.
thing with Aquaman is though that he's more of a, even though he's not in water, he still will fight. Like he's very a warrior essence character, and I think that's the problem with
he just
DC
needs to bring a
characters.
water
He's their
bottle with him,
Hawkeye.
right?
yeah, DC characters in general. I feel like they're more of like they're larger than life, whereas Marvel characters are more relatable because they have human flaws. Like
They do.
Iron Man, he was a former alcoholic, or he's struggling with that.
Former alcoholic.
You know, Peter Parker,
Yeah.
Is dead.
he's dead, but
He's
before,
dead!
But before that,
Jim!
he was a teenager, like
Yeah.
everyone else who was reading
He
the
was
comics.
getting bullied at like school.
So I feel like
and he's like a photographer at a newspaper. It's like
So I mean,
Not a
he
cool
has
job.
a job. He had to struggle with both being a superhero and his job, which I think gives more realism to the Marvel universe.
I mean,
Whereas-
yeah, there's truth to that, but at the same time, that doesn't always make it a better comic, you know.
True.
No.
Look at Batman. You know, he's a billionaire.
He is a billionaire.
99% of the population can't relate to that. Yes,
they can relate to
yes,
tragic
his-
death of
his
loved
parents,
ones.
his parents are dead. But at the same time, I'm guessing most of the readers' parents are not dead.
But they know
Batman
what it's like to lose
succeeds. True, but the reason that Batman comics succeed is because it is such an interesting thing.
I think people can they can
Yes.
aspire to be Batman more than they
Yeah.
can aspire to be Iron Man. Like Iron Man, he was as like Batman, he was born into wealth, and he suffered. He was captured. He was tortured, and he built himself an Iron Man suit, and he escaped, and he became Iron Man. Whereas Batman,
Yeah.
he as soon as he lost his parents, he set out to fight injustice, and he vowed never to kill anyone. And I think that
The moral of this story, kids, is that money solves everything.
pretty
one.
much.
Yes.
I mean, Superman. He was raised on a farm, so I mean, stuff like that. Like I
Yeah.
think, with DC, it's not. You can be this, but you can aspire to be this superhero. Whereas Marvel's like, you are the. It's more like you are the superhero. Is how I feel about it.
Uh-huh.
That's a good point.
And I feel like some of the DC characters are not relatable at all. But like I don't how do you relate to Aquaman?
I mean, also
unless
Martian
you like
Manhunter.
grow up in like the Bahamas or something.
Martian Manhunter. I don't think readers can relate. to
Aquaman
him.
is far too white, Tim, and more in the Bahamas.
He is definitely. I mean, what if he moved there?
Maybe. But I feel like even some of the more out there heroes in Marvel, like Thor, he represents like older
Great hair.
values and great hair. But he represents like this almost archaic like sense of justice and what am I trying to say? Like
We're just proud that he was able to pull off a movie.
Uh,
Nobody thought that would happen.
Yeah, I think How do you feel about the upcoming Thor movie? How do you feel about it?
I'm looking.
It's a
forward
terrible
to it.
idea.
I think so long as it's better than the first one, it's good to go.
I mean,
If
I
Natalie Portman's in it again, I'll see it.
I think the thing with the Thor movie was that people went in with low expectations, and that's why it did well. Because people didn't really see, like, how could Thor do well? And it did well because people were curious. And I think with the new one, I don't think it'll do so well, but it will still do good and introduce more plot points.
Yeah.
What else was there?
Well,
I'm sad
the thing
that
about-
Chris Hemsworth is gonna stop playing Thor after the next.
Avengers or the
Avengers
next
movie.
Thor?
The thing is, he's afraid of becoming Robert Downey Jr. Because no matter what he does, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. That is his legacy. That is all he will ever be.
Yeah,
But I mean, he's
If
also
you see
Sherlock
this
Holmes.
Robert Downey Jr., I'm sorry, but it's true.
I think he
I
embraces.
think that's
his
the
role
problem
as
with
Iron Man.
superhero movies also. Like, both the good and the bad is that there's a person associated with each superhero. Like, Superman, who do you think of?
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves, yeah, from the 1970s movie. And he was, I think, one of the first ones to play Superman that became popular. So I think that's one of the problems with making a comic book into a movie is that with these characters, the artists come up with who the person is and what they look like, whereas with a movie, you have to choose from a pool of people. All right, this person best represents the character. So I think that's a problem. But do you guys think a CGI or like a comic, not a comic, but an animated piece would do better than a live action superhero movie?
It can, because all of us here, I'm assuming, have seen Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
You know, arguably the second or third best Batman movie of all time, besides The Dark Knight and Where You Stand Now at The Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight trilogy. Box set.
Batman.
I mean, yeah, the Dark Knight trilogy is a good example of how a movie series can be successful, like how a superhero can be done well.
Yeah.
And I think more people should be looking towards this and not using it as a template, but using it as more of a, alright, what can go well, what can go wrong, something like that. Whereas, like,
Getting back to your original point, though, about the animated feature versus
Yeah.
the live-action feature, we also need to remember who is arguably the most recognized Batman of all time. It's
True.
Kevin Conroy.
It is Kevin
From
Conroy.
the
He's
animated series.
Most recognized voice, for those of you who don't know, he played the Batman voice in the
That
Arkham
awesome
City games.
cartoon that you watched when you were a kid.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, you watched that cartoon.
Yeah.
Or else you probably killed
Although
yourself.
I'll be completely honest, I like maybe he's the most recognizable voice, but I think the most recognizable look for me is the Adam West Batman, because it's just like you see all those
Come on.
pictures.
I mean-
and I know I'm really upsetting you here,
I think he has a point.
but like
Where because
that
Okay, I
was
need
the
to
original
hear this.
Batman.
This is gonna be great.
he was Adam West was the original Batman that kids grew up and they knew about, even though it was super campy, super like the shark repellent, even with all those things.
It wasn't a good series, but
but it
like
was still recognizable. Kids still enjoyed it because for what it was. I mean, yeah, see, it's recognizable.
Everyone knows it. People who haven't seen the Adam West Batman
Series.
No, the-
series,
they
they know the
know the
theme
theme.
song.
Okay, I
It's-
get what
it's-
you're
it's
saying.
So even
a
though
part of the Batman
Yeah.
culture.
Tragically
So I think there's certain parts where people recognize, like, oh yeah, I recognize the Batman theme song, no, like that. And I think there's certain parts of it, good or bad, that are recognizable with certain superhero movies. Like, like the Green Lantern wasn't a good superhero movie, but
Ryan Reynolds was sexy.
okay, we could see what they could do with the character if they had it live action. So now we can learn from our mistakes. I think that's a good thing while we make movies.
Well, you know, that's kind of true. Like, you remember the movie Hulk?
the
Probably
original
came out
movie.
2004-ish. Ang
Was
Lee
that
directed
the Ed
it with
Norton one?
Eric Bana.
Eric
before
Bana,
the
yes.
Edward Norton
Okay.
one,
With
Okay.
yeah,
which
yeah.
was horrible.
Like I didn't.
Except
even know
I
what
saw
was.
it when I was 10, so
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care.
It
I
was
thought
shiny.
It's the Hulk.
Yeah, I thought it was a
It's the
Hulk
big
movie.
green guy.
And that was one of my first exposures to the Hulk outside of just looking at the Hulk text, like the Rockstone text. And when I saw it, I was like, what is this? This is a guy who can get angry and turn into this huge thing. This is awesome. So
Yeah.
even though I didn't know what it was, I still felt it was a good movie. Like, to lay out, alright.
Don't go back and watch it now.
No, I watched it. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
Why?
It was on TV. I was like, oh, I remember seeing this. Oh, no, I didn't. I don't want to
bad.
remember.
Bad.
Dude, I would rather watch the Learning Channel than
I
be
know, but
forced to watch
the
the
thing is-
Ang Lee Hulk movie.
The thing is, I went back to see how it would stand, from what I remember of it, and it's still like it imprinted in my mind. So I think superhero movies, even though there can be bad superhero movies, it's a good thing that they're made. So we know, all right, we get exposed to that almost like culture of superheroes in general.
Something of a bridge, you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. So
A bridge over to the dark, nerdy place of comic book culture.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
think that's even.
Did you ever see that Swamp Thing movie? Came out in like the 90s. Clive Barker made
I
it.
did not.
I think I saw part of it.
I saw a part of Howard the Duck movie. For those of you who don't know, Howard the Duck is a Marvel property, and they made a movie about it like in the 80s or 70s. I don't know. It was a live action. It was,
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the live action
No,
cartoony
it wasn't
thing?
cartoon. Howard the Duck was a live animatronic duck that was about 4.5 feet tall. His head was like this big. It was, I mean,
Just kill me.
Who is that?
I don't know. It
I've
was,
never heard of this.
He looked more like Daffy the Duck, but I mean, still something like that. It's more of exposure
Daffy the
to
Duck
it.
chopping on a cigar.
Yeah,
Oh
he did
my-
have a cigar. So I think the exposure of superhero movies gets people interested. Like, we're talking about it. So
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I think it succeeded because we are talking about it.
Yeah.
What the hell were we talking about?
Um,
How did we get here?
we talk
Weren't we talking
Who
about
is Howard the
sequels or
Duck?
something?
superheroes? I think we talked about.
I think
We
we,
were
were
talking-
on sequels.
We were talking about like
Thor:
new
the
Thor
Dark
movie.
World.
Okay,
Thor:
yeah,
the
that
Dark
brings
World.
me back to something.
Worst title ever.
Captain America. There's going to be another Captain America.
The Winter
movie.
Soldier. Yeah.
Now, isn't the Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes?
Yeah.
He is in the
Now,
comics. He is Bucky
Correct
Barnes.
me. Bucky Barnes is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, hold
Is
on.
dead.
He fell out of a speeding train.
Into ice. So
Into
he
ice.
could have,
He could be alive and just have like gotten stuck there.
or they could have cloned him. I don't know what they. What
There
they-
are a lot of possibilities. Maybe they go and discover him
But
frozen in
I
the
don't- I
ice, and they recover his
I
body
personally
or something.
wasn't a huge fan of the Captain America movie.
No, I really thought it was good.
Thing is, I felt like he was trying to be. They made him almost too heroic. Like,
They made him too Superman.
yeah, they made him too much of a superhero without any extra besides super strength and stuff like that. He was just a regular guy. So I didn't find the appeal of it, unlike other people. So
I think what Tim's trying to say is that the movie suffered from what I call Superman syndrome,
yeah,
where the hero is too pure and he's too good and you don't care.
yeah, that's
Well, I mean, that's Captain America's thing, though. Is always about like the greater good and what is the best way to pursue like freedom and justice. And so he doesn't have a dark side like a lot of other characters do.
That's-
His dark side is that he was picked on as a kid.
He's the
And that's not a dark
anti-Punisher.
yeah.
The anti-Punisher.
So I think that's
Speaking of which, did either of you see Dirty Laundry? That
No.
short film with Thomas Jane?
I did not.
Ooh, it's brutal.
Did you guys see the Batman in Shanghai?
What? No.
No, it was an animated piece that was done almost like a anime show. So it was like first starts out with a Catwoman who has like a Cheshire cat mask, like one of those, like it was a white mask with red paint on it. You guys can look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
Actually was really well done. And in one part there was Bane, Batman, and Catwoman fighting for a scroll, and they're fighting like on a bridge thing, and it's zoomed out, and there's like puppets, dancing around, and they're mimicking the fight. And Bane's a bear, Batman's a bunch of bats, and Catwoman's a cat, and it was really well done. And this was like an independent thing, and I think something like that they should do more. Like have independent animators and artists do pieces with writers who are extremely familiar with, like even not Bob Kane, but Paul Dini. For those of you who don't know, Paul Dini is.
Paul Dini wrote that awesome Batman cartoon you watched when you were a kid.
He also wrote Arkham City. I don't know if he wrote Arkham Asylum. Did he?
He was
The
involved
video games?
He was involved, but
with Arkham Asylum.
with Arkham Asylum, and
Those
he
are the
wrote
video
Arkham
games,
City.
Yeah.
So I think they should have something like that.
He's the J.K. Rowling of comic books.
Yes,
Let's
he is.
describe him like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think stuff like that should be included in some sort of canon, or like should be recognized more.
Somebody didn't silence his phone.
Should I go get it?
It's fine.
It's fine.
We now take a break from the action to listen to Kevin's ringtone. Okay.
We'll
Let's just wait it out.
We'll cut this out. This will definitely be cut.
No, this is way too funny
No,
to
it's
cut
fine.
out.
Don't cut it out.
I mean, we're not gonna cut it out.
We never use the magic of editing. The magic of editing is only for movies.
We are
'cause they
really
need it.
this
So are
clever.
we keeping this a pure podcast where no cuts, no breaks, nothing?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Hey.
Okay then.
Awkward is funny.
Back to comics.
Where we were on short independent features.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The advantage of that is that you can have something really... I don't want to say pure, because that feels so overused.
But really well
But
done.
More like
Yeah.
the character. Because the problem with movies is that you want to sell tickets.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And this is the thing. You want to sell tickets, so you can't make, Batman like, say, The Dark Knight Returns Batman,
Yeah.
who's absolutely insane and, talks to the bat in his head. Or, say, a Punisher movie where he's basically a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Although there was that one movie that came out this past year. It was like God Bless America or something. It was just about a guy who went on a killing spree and killed all the people who he didn't like.
Huh.
It made
We're
it
not-
to theaters.
We're not crazy.
We're not.
I swear
condoning
we're not
killing.
crazy.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying that it's happened.
Yes.
They've made like serial killer movies,
You point at me or Josh?
over to me. Yeah.
Alright.
I admittedly, I might be the crazy
Because this is the problem with a character like the Punisher. Did you guys see that Punisher movie with John Travolta?
Yeah, I
Came
did
out
see
in
that.
one. I
November?
did not see the movie.
Admittedly, I liked it.
I liked it too.
Admittedly,
but for-
I will say that I enjoyed that movie. But was it a Punisher movie?
No, it was not a Punisher movie. It was a revenge movie, but I think it was for what it was. It was still well done.
Yes, but
They
Like-
used the symbol, but I think that's about it, and the names.
better than that Dolph Lundgren movie from the 80s. Oh.
Let's
Moment of
just
silence. But the point being that the small independent projects show what a movie really can be. Like, if you
Yeah.
want to do a Punisher movie, you need to make it like
super dark.
dirty laundry. It needs to be really bloody, and
Yeah.
it needs to be really upsetting, and,
I think the problem
Quentin
with
Tarantino could do it.
Quentin Tarantino
the problem
could
with
do
the
it.
Punisher is It's that I think it's too dark for a majority of the audiences, and I don't think that
Yeah.
a lot of people would like a
Well, the
a
Punisher's
well-done
not a
Punisher.
very likable character.
And the other thing is that it
True.
would be rated R.
It would,
Which means that like
RC-17. That's above R. That's
maybe okay.
NC-17, Tim.
yeah. It's
NC. You
NC
said R.
Oh, it's NC-17. My bad.
Okay.
I was thinking.
It would be rated up there in such a way that all the younger like comic book fans couldn't go see it.
I think they would still
But
find
it
a
would
way
be
to see it.
so worth
They would still find a way to see it, but I think that not. It
Now,
would,
personally, I want to see an R-rated version of The Dark Knight Rises.
okay, here's
That scene at the end when they're in the courthouse and Bane is like, "You know I must kill you anyways."
I think
And then he's got the shotgun in Batman, and then Catwoman blows him up with that thing on the pod. You know,
yeah.
that thing that blows holes in concrete and clears a bridge of cars.
Yeah.
Now, I know Bane is jacked, but
But
he
he
cannot
cannot
be
survive.
so solid to stay in one piece after being shot by that
The
thing.
thing that I have with The Dark Knight Rises is that it was a great movie, but I think they had either too much and not enough time. And I think if they made it two separate movies, they could have added a little bit more, and I would have been fine with it if they made it two separate movies and added a little bit more.
Okay, now you know what I wanted to see, because you and I have talked about that before, and I started thinking about it, is incorporating more elements of The Dark Knight Returns with
Yes.
the mutant gang
Yeah, that would
maybe
have been
being
good.
introduced. I mean, you'd have to change them because this is no longer 1985.
It wouldn't be Mutant Gang. It would be
But-
a different.
A gang, pretty much. A gang to stand in for the mutants.
Yeah.
Bane can be there.
I think
I
they should,
want Bane to be there.
I
Yeah,
think
to
they
keep
should have
Catwoman.
made. These are the movies I would like to see made in live action. I'd like to see Batman Year One, which was basically Batman Returns,
Law and Order featuring Batman.
pretty much. I would like to see The Killing Joke, live action. That would be.
I don't know if that's long enough.
It's not
That's
long.
really short. They could like
It could be like
do an extended cut of The Dark Knight where they show.
Well,
it and stuff,
I don't
but
know if it should be like a feature film, but it should be like a
independent short.
independent
Yeah.
short, something like that. But they still use some sort of like canonical characters, like
Canon, you mean?
canon. Well, they use characters from one movie in another movie. I think like how Alfred from the original Batman in 1980, 1990.
Okay.
He was involved in all four of those group of movies way back when. And The Killing Joke, Batman Year One, and No Man's Land. I think No Man's Land combined with Nightfall, which was basically The Dark Knight Rises. I think I would like to see those movies made. And I think if
For those
it
of
could
you
be
who
well
don't
done.
know, No Man's Land is basically that part in The Dark Knight Rises when Bane goes onto the football field and he blows up all the bridges and suddenly everyone is stranded. That's No Man's Land.
And think of it, whereas gangs control the city, and Bane is still involved, except he is not a huge main character, but he's still an important character.
And there's no Batwing.
there's no Batwing. There is, however, Nightwing.
Oh crap, they don't know what we're talking about now. Because they call it the Bat in The Dark Knight Rises.
Or there's no.
There's
the
no
Bat.
bird plane thing.
There's no whatever hovercraft thing he has.
In the comics, it's called the Batwing, but I guess they can't call it anymore because now Batwing's a character. The flying thing from The Dark Knight Rises with the shitty name is called the Batwing in the comics, and that's what we're referring to.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no.
But it has autopilot in the comics,
It does. There is Robin. There is a.
which they brought up a ridiculous amount of times in that movie.
Yeah.
It's just like every second that Morgan Freeman and Christian Bale are together. How you doing, Bruce? I'd be pretty good, but there's still no autopilot.
It's like, hey Alfred, hey Bruce, the best. It's like,
But
calm
he
down.
did make autopilot at the end, didn't he? Like that was one of the things at the end.
Yeah, but he kept bringing it up.
yeah,
Like an absurd amount because
It's like-
Christopher Nolan wants to. He's trying to disguise because a smart person. You remember that scene where Michael Caine, Alfred, and
Yeah.
Bruce, they're in the cave the first time, and Bruce is like, "You remember when you left all those years ago, and I would go to that cafe in Florence, and I'd have one of those like tiny drinks that you can tell." Someone who has that drink is rich because it's not big enough to satisfy any amount of thirst.
Yeah.
yep.
I watched that scene and I was like, oh, this is going to get paid off, definitely.
Yeah, I was like,
So Christopher Nolan keeps driving home the point that there is no autopilot to make you forget about that.
yeah. I think the thing is that he does well is that he reminds you multiple times. So by the end of the movie, you're like, I am so dumb. How did I forget about this? Keep talking about it for like half the
When
movie.
they show Alfred in the cafe at the end of the movie, because I was at the marathon show.
So was I.
Josh
yeah.
was also at the marathon show. We were at the midnight release
This is
of
great.
The Dark Knight Rises, and during that scene at the end of the movie, I was up in my chair, just no, oh, this is gonna be amazing. And I've had a lot of conversations about this with people. Is the end of the movie? A lot of people wanted them to cut the credits right after they saw Alfred, like
I said
smile
no.
and lift
I said
his
no.
glass.
That part where they have Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Yeah.
rising on that platform, I think they have. If they showed something else like the suit rising as well, but you didn't see the suit, I think that would have made it even more of a speculation whether if the suit that Bruce Wayne left for Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the Batman suit or if it's the Nightwing suit.
Does he have another Batman suit?
He does because
Because let's think about this. There's
No, because remember it was
the suit in the cave he was wearing during his fight with Bane in
Yeah.
the sewers. And Bane broke Batman's back,
he did
which
break
means he
his suit.
had to damage the armor somehow. And we saw him punch that graphite mask, so that's useless. That's the suit from the cave. The other suit that he wears during the second fight in the movie is the suit from that, like, underground... That
from the
thingy-
Dark Knight.
From the Dark
Yeah.
Knight.
Yeah, because remember he got in the Dark Knight. He went and he got another suit from Morgan Freeman that was gonna protect him from the dogs.
Yes. So the deal is now, is there another suit? Can they use the original suit? The suit with, like, where you have to awkwardly
True.
turn your whole
There's
body
more
and
than
talk
one
to people?
suit. If you think about it, there's definitely more than one
Which
suit.
totally diminishes the drama at, like, the end
It's-
of Batman Begins when he's going to talk to Jim Gordon and he has to...
The thing is with
Oh,
with
good
Batman is that he's redundant about everything. If you've seen any of the if you've seen any of the Batman movies, or if you've seen them in the Justice League Unlimited or the Justice League series,
We're talking about TV shows now.
the TV show. You see that he has backup plans for everything. So I think he would have at least one or two spare suits in the Batcave.
Probably.
If not, scattered throughout the city, and is one of numerous Batcaves that he definitely has. So I think that he definitely has more than one suit available. So
Yeah.
even if
of
they just
course.
showed the part where you know where the suit is located, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt himself is obscuring of what the suit looks like, I think that would have made it even better. So because you don't know what character he is, since his first name is Robin, and Robin becomes Nightwing, or like there's no plethora of possibilities. So
Have they actually
The Red Hood.
confirmed a Nightwing movie, or is that still just
No.
speculation?
no, it's complete speculation, but
As, like, the Batman guy here, personally, I will say I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
yeah, they Christopher Nolan said he will not direct a Batman movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt or a Nightwing movie, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt did say
If we want a Nightwing movie, we'll have to wait till they reboot Batman.
true,
Because
but they're doing it soon. You know that.
yeah, I know they're doing it way too soon.
I
actually,
think that's true.
because
Give this one like a couple years to settle in. We only just saw The Dark Knight
I think
Rises last
5
year.
years. 5 years should be at
At
least because it was
least.
4
At
years
least.
from
they're
Dark Knight to
rebooting it
Rises.
right now. It's 2013 now. They're rebooting it in 2016. So that's 3 years we have to completely forget about all of those Christopher Nolan Batman movies that we love so much.
No!
And exactly, because what they're going to try to do is make Batman like fun.
Okay.
Think about that.
Hold on. So
Think
He's not a
about
fun.
No,
he is one of the darkest superheroes out there, and there's
no,
a reason for
he's
it.
the darkest. But the
Okay.
thing about this is because the Avengers was such a high-grossing movie,
And it was fun.
and it was fun. Now, I personally, in my nerdiness, rewatched every single trailer for The Dark Knight Rises as they came out for like hours on end every day. I don't have a social life, but
I mean,
Ladies,
well, as I
little
watched this, the things that go through my head is like, this is epic. Oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. This is awesome.
I think I
Never
found a
once did
problem.
I ever think that looks fun.
I think I found a solution though.
Yeah.
If they somehow introduce Robin within the first movie, like they have.
Dark Victory, the movie.
What if Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Nightwing or Robin is in the new Justice League movie?
No,
Okay,
they're not
stop.
gonna have it.
Stop.
No.
I am settling this once and for all. There is no Nightwing in this universe. If Joseph Gordon-Levitt gets a movie, he is Batman.
True.
Okay?
There will not. I think it has to be a while, so that all the superheroes, all the main superheroes, have their own movies. They have at least a couple of them. The Justice League movie has one or two. The Justice League has one or two movies. Then they can move on to
Young Justice.
yeah, like a Young Justice or Young Avengers. Like
oh man,
I don't know.
I don't want to see.
no Young Avengers.
Well, I mean, Young Avengers will be probably one of the hardest movies to create. For those of you who don't know, it's basically the sidekicks or the younger versions of the characters who are in.
On adventures as they go get coffee for the real superheroes.
Pretty much.
It's like Teen Titans, except lame.
Yeah.
Because
I-
that show is great.
Hold on.
I love Teen
I
Titans.
told Josh this the last time we recorded, a
Yeah.
couple times ago, but
What?
the new Justice League, not new Justice League, the new Young Justice
Young Justice, the TV show.
is coming out with a episode the 12th or 20th. I know there's a 2 in there, and it's coming out this January, very soon.
We know the dates.
Yeah.
It's sometime early to mid-January.
Okay.
But what's going to happen?
They're gonna expand on where they left off with
Aqualad and Black Manta.
Aqualad, Black Manta, Nightwing, Kid Flash, what's her name? It's not
Artemis?
Artemis, and I
Okay.
think there's one other person.
Basically, so what's been happening is Aqualad. I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, yeah, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Aqualad, his father is actually
A bad guy called Black Manta.
who is Aquaman's arch enemy. Star Wars. And
Yeah.
so basically, Luke Skywalker is teaming up with Darth Vader now, or so we think, because he may be undercover for the Jedi Rebellion.
Star Wars.
Yes.
But I
Sounds
think
very
the
similar.
way
Did you
that
catch my drift, Young Justice? Come up with better stories.
But I think they're still doing a good job with Young Justice of what they've done so far. I think
It's
it's been
fun.
phenomenal.
It's a fun show. I finally care about Kid Flash. I never did before.
But I think with the second season, I think they introduced
Too many characters?
I think a couple too many characters. If they have to really deep and reach in there with Lagoon Boy, I think that there might be a couple too many characters. If they bring a
They should
second
get
Kid
some
Flash,
new powers out
Well,
there. I mean-
Zatanna should be in everything,
well,
first off. But besides that,
I think that it's not. I think it's just a bit oversaturated. If they just skim the top, I think they have a perfect lineup with they introduced a Batgirl, Wonder Girl. They have a new Robin. I think they have a great group of
is
characters.
it Tim Drake?
I believe it's Tim Drake.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
Now, because it would have been cool to see Jason Todd for about 4 episodes. Then he goes crazy and gets himself killed by the Joker.
I think that
Then, you
Yeah.
know, the rest of the season, maybe, no Robin. Then Tim Drake comes on, and we have, friction and stuff. I would like to see that.
That would be kind of
Because Batman's stories make everything more interesting.
Yeah.
I think what they're trying to do with this Young Justice is they're trying to keep
It's
Batman
true.
out of it for the most
Okay.
part. They don't want to saturate it like they did with
Justice League,
Justice
League Unlimited.
with Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I think
Well, Teen
even though it's
Titans proved that you can have a great DC show without Batman.
true,
Yeah, this is true.
but I don't think they want to get the
love Teen
viewers
Titans,
too
that's not-
excited about having a series and they introduce Batman, and then it's basically all about majority. It's about Batman, but I think they're still doing a good job of how much they have screen time for each character.
Yeah, that's a good point. There was also, you remember Static Shock in the early 2000s? The Static Shock
I
cartoon?
remember that.
That was awesome.
That was a good show. I don't know what happened to it. They had him back in Justice League Unlimited, but I don't know.
For that one episode.
But they still
What's the
did a
name
good
of that
job with having those characters along for the ride of.
The point being that DC has proven that they can make good shows without relying too heavily on Batman.
And I think
that's important
Marvel-
because right now he's their only main character.
Batman
For
is
now.
keeping that company afloat
for
right
now,
now.
for now, I think Man of Steel will change that, and it will
Man
be
of
hopefully,
Steel will
hopefully.
change that, hopefully.
hopefully. I see promise in that, and I
They
am
need to get
crossing
Wonder
my
Woman
fingers.
back in there because
Wonder Woman will
is
be
cool.
released before the Justice League movie.
Okay.
See, that's going to be so hard. Look, the thing is, if they want to do a Justice League movie, all the movies have to have the same tone.
True.
Like, if you look at the Marvel movies, they're all fun and they're all action, adventure-y stuff. Look at the Dark Knight movies. They're all really, really depressing.
But I think-
Man of Steel, not as depressing.
But still,
Looks
a
kind
little
of
bit
looks
dark.
really
more uplifting. though.
serious.
Yeah, serious,
Little-
but I think it's going to be uplifting.
True.
It's like... the way
The
I like
Green
to describe
Lantern,
it...
How do
the
we
Marvel-
describe the Green
The
Lantern?
Marvel movies are Harry Potter. The
Okay.
Batman movies are the original Star Wars trilogy. The Man of Steel movies look like they're going to be Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I guess.
So, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The point being that if we want a Justice League movie to work, they all need to be the same tone.
True.
Yeah.
And that's
absolutely.
already hard.
That is true. But I don't think that they're gonna use some basis of the Christopher Nolan Batman series in the new Justice League movie, but I don't think that will be incorporated in the Justice League movie. I think that because I know they're gonna reboot it, but I know they're gonna have Batman as not wanting to reluctant to join as he always does to join the Justice League. But I think that if they have a somewhat serious but still kind of fun tone, I think they could work with it with the Flash, and definitely the Flash will help
Yeah.
with that. And they're gonna use Ryan Reynolds as the Green Lantern again, but I don't think they're gonna use the same texture artists or the same CG.
I don't want to see that bulge in his pants.
I don't want to. The thing is that I liked it, but I liked it for the story.
You like the bulge in his
No,
pants?
I liked the story, but I didn't like the visuals. The visuals were I think they made it too over the top. I think if they have just a painted on mask and parts of it are,
They could do the Guy Gardner suit. Just make the Green Lantern, because the suit itself is an extension of the ring.
true.
Yeah.
Therefore, the
I think
ring
they focused on it
bearer.
too much
What?
in the movie. The suit.
The suit?
Yeah.
Yeah. The suit itself is an extension of the ring,
Yeah.
which is to the will of the ring bearer. They can change the suit however they want. You know,
True.
Guy Gardner has a leather jacket with the Green Lantern symbol on it, and he wears cowboy boots.
Okay.
That would be
The
cool to
point-
see some
The
personality.
point
in there.
being
I don't.
that the suit's not a big deal. We can throw it out the window. But problem with the Green Lantern movie is it's just
Too campy.
that movie was so bad.
It was really bad.
That movie was so bad.
Don't get me wrong.
Ugh.
It was a bad movie, but there were. I think the way that they showed some stuff was okay, but they didn't. They focused too much on the wrong things, is what I think.
Yes.
But they can.
I liked Sinestro too much.
So did I. Do we want to go down and say who our favorite Green Lantern is, or are we just gonna?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Hal Jordan.
I'm Guy Gardner.
I don't know. I'm torn between. I don't know. I kind of like Kyle Renner a little, or not Kyle Renner. Kyle.
Come on, dude, they're Green Lanterns. They all have first name and last name.
I
When in doubt,
just
John Stewart.
John. I mean, okay, yeah. It's
The black guy.
I like John Stewart because he's a Green Lantern. He's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who would be John Stewart in the movie?
I don't know.
Jamie Foxx.
I don't know how they're gonna. I would like.
He and I just saw Django
Yeah, we
Unchained
did.
together,
It was
so-
really-
I would like to see
good.
D. Solid Hillbilly.
Lawrence Fishburne as
I
Martian
like the
Manhunter.
way you died.
Lawrence Fishburne is Perry White.
He is, but what if he was Martian Manhunter? You think he could do a good job?
You know, we obviously can't have him be the actual model because, for those of you who don't know, Martian Manhunter's an alien.
He's
He's a
green
Martian.
with
He's a
red
Martian.
eyes.
Yeah.
Green, red eyes.
Wasn't he in that
pointy head.
Well,
animated Justice League movie a while back where there was like
Justice League Doom?
maybe I don't know.
Did you see that one?
There was
I think
like robot invasion of the world or whatever,
No.
and then like there was this Martian dude helping out and to
No.
like protect them, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That was Justice League Unlimited.
That's right.
The episode was called. I just watched it. Oh my god. Something about I don't remember, but at the end, you know, Darkseid's invading the planet, and Lex Luthor saves the day by showing
Yes,
him
I saw
like
that.
what's that the thing called, the apocalypse equation or something?
yeah, something like it's the dooms or the something
The Doomsday
equation.
equation,
The dark side, the Omega equation.
the Omega equation.
Okay.
No, that doesn't make sense.
No.
No, because he has Omega beams.
No, but I
That
think
shoot
it was
from
the
his eyes.
Omega equation.
I'm
'Cause
pretty sure it was the Doomsday equation.
I don't remember, but it was some
Okay.
kind of equation that was basically the evil equation.
It was the way to cheat on his SATs.
Yep.
So, yeah, and you know that one, Martian Manhunter comes back. Apparently, has been masquerading as an old dude
Yeah.
for like ever. But the point is that he's cool,
Yes.
I think, I don't know.
and he's gonna be hard to do also because he's a shapeshifter.
He is. So I think they're gonna have to use CG anyway for
Are they gonna
Dark
do
Darkseid.
like Mystique, or are they gonna make Martian Manhunter like Mystique from the X-Men movies?
I mean,
I don't know.
a lot of the recent movies they've been doing with CG, it's been looking very real.
Are we talking like
just like
the
in general?
Avengers and-
Like there was some CG in The Hobbit that I thought was really lifelike. And
CGI in Halo 4?
I mean that's great.
Isn't that all CGI?
But did you
Yeah,
guys see
but
the
did
Beowulf
you
movie?
watch it?
It was beautiful.
Did you guys see the Beowulf movie a couple years
Unfortunately,
back?
yes.
Because I
did
mean,
not.
that was everything was CGI in that movie. There
But it
was nothing
too,
real.
It was too like, I don't know.
I mean,
Terrible.
it was a terrible movie, but the people looked very real. And so I think they've reached the point where
Angelina
they
Jolie.
could CGI
Hey,
Martian Manhunter and have it look good.
What's your thoughts on the new Wolverine movie? Going to Japan and stuff. I, for one, think it's awesome that they're diving this deep into
I think
the
it's
lore.
good that they're
but
diving, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we're ready for for him have his wife and his wife be killed in front of him. Sorry for
Yeah.
spoiling the movie. I think that's you can probably Google it. And,
It's a superhero movie, Tim. They all know
Someone
that
dies, always.
heroes are gonna meet someone, they're gonna fall in love, they're gonna die, there's gonna be a fight,
Well,
they're gonna lose the first fight, then they gotta work out, go back, and stop him.
That's always how it works.
yeah. What's our time?
And then, of course, the
we're
villain
like
slaughters your
50
girlfriend,
minutes.
and you take the blame
15?
for the bad
50?
guy.
50?
We've been talking for an hour.
Not quite.
Quite.
All right. So we're gonna cut it at a close here. We could talk for hours, I promise. Like we really could.
We could go on more, and if you want to see us go on for a little bit longer,
Let us know.
favorite, whatever, share with everyone you don't know. Everyone
Comment
you
down
know,
there. Tell us
some-
what you want to
Some
see.
people you don't, you know.
Friend us on Facebook.
Here's if you like someone and you think that they'll like what we're doing, share it with them. If you hate someone and you think that we're doing terrible stuff, share it with them as well.
Yeah, we want to know how you feel about this.
There's something for everyone on
what
this
should
show.
we talk
Absolutely.
about next?
Yeah,
leave
let
your
us know what
ideas.
topics.
Name for the show or podcast.
Yeah, I've got the Pokemon coins, guys. They're really cool. The front has a picture of a black Kyurem or a white Kyurem. It's the new figure or Pokemon character, and then the back says Pokemon Black 2 or Pokemon White 2. They're really cool. So yeah, let us know, and we'll get these to you.
And remember to click subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah, like, comment, favorite, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Eat your green vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah, so until next time, this is Josh, Calvin, I am Tim.
Signing off.
See you guys later.
See you later.